Sup, y'all? It's me, it's your boy Asmongold, and today I wanted to give you guys a first look at the new dungeon, Court of Stars. Now, this dungeon was just made available a couple of days ago on the Legion Alpha, and I got a chance to test it for the first time last night on my stream. I had a really good time. And so if you guys were there to watch that, thank you very much for tuning in. But if not, I think this is probably going to be the first time you guys have ever seen this dungeon before, so I tried to include as much of the environment, the ambiance, and just kind of the scenery as possible, because this is not only just a new dungeon, the dungeon takes place in an entirely new area of Legion called Suramar, which is like a night elf, high elf. I'm not really sure what kind of elf, but it's an elf city, and it looks really cool. And so you start off, and you're on that dock, and you come down, and you actually get on a boat, and you sail over to the actual start of the dungeon. Now, I thought this was just the coolest shit ever, honestly. Like, I hardly ever get to spend a lot of time on boats and WoW, and I always thought that was like something that they could really build on. And so I think it's really cool that this is happening, and it's very new. Now, this dungeon is very well put together, and it's basically like a raid scenario or a dungeon scenario of an outdoor area in Suramar that I'll show you guys in a couple of minutes. Now, this was we also had 3 warriors as a DPS, and so our group comp was really not that strong. And so you guys can see right there on the map, and I'll show you in a few minutes like how kind of this like where this fits in the entire Suramar area. So you can see there's the Court of Stars, there's Suramar, and right there where my mouse is, that's actually kind of where I believe this dungeon actually takes place in. So anyway, the dungeon, in this dungeon, we are scaled down to item level 785, and our level is scaled up to, or whatever, I think we already were 110, but anyway, our level was 110. So anyway, this dungeon was relatively easy. There was nothing in this dungeon that was really hard to do. But I want to take you guys through a lot of the different trash packs, the bosses, and just kind of all the other stuff that I have done with the dungeons. Now, this is a Night Watch Sentry. I think you guys have seen that a number of times with, like, I don't know, just like other places in the game, like they have that in CG. Is it CG? No, it's CA. They have the little sentries that you have to kill, and if they get to that little pillar or pylon or whatever it is, if that happens, I don't really know entirely what happens because we didn't let it happen, but I have a pretty good chance it'll either aggro extra mobs or just summon new ones. But either way, pretty much just want to kill these guys before they get to the pillars here. Now, this dungeon also had a lot of very unique mechanics and ways that you can use even your professions to help you and do extra things in this dungeon. I don't really know why. I think it was because it was a city, but this dungeon reminded me a lot of Dire Maul. So this is the first boss right here, and Patrol Captain, who knows, right? He's an elf, right? And so anyway, he does a cone, or sorry, a shockwave type ability, or it is a cone ability, not only in his front, but in his back. So if you ever fought a dragon, you know very easily how to avoid that. Just fight him on the side. It's going to be no big deal. Also, he casts an ability, it's like an arcane cling or something like that. And basically what that does is it kind of roots you onto the ground, and you have to jump to get rid of it. And I was making fun of, oh, by the way, he also summons ads. You want to kill those, no big deal. I was kind of making fun of people for not being able to jump to get rid of a debuff that deals damage, but then I remembered, yeah. So anyway, okay. Anyway, I don't even want to think about that. And anyway, whenever he gets down to 20%, he gets a little bit of a buff. Not really too big of a deal, just like haste and damage. No real new abilities that I've seen. Arcane Lockdown is the ability that you have to jump for. You have to jump 3 times, I believe. So it's very easy to deal with. By the way, there's a new animation whenever you kill a boss, and it actually has loot on its table. It's like a lot more yellower. A lot more yellower. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the right way to say it. Anyway, so this is in one of the little buildings in Suramar, and as you can see, it's very well put together. They've obviously put a lot of work into creating this dungeon and making it really feel like you're in part of the city and not just kind of a dungeon where you just go from pole to boss to pole to boss and then you're done, right? And so anyway, you can come over here, and we actually one thing that's really cool. This was also in the I don't remember, Darkheart Thicket, I believe. There's a rare spawn boss up here, and I don't really know entirely how it's supposed to work. If this is like an optional boss, if this is a rare spawn, if it always spawns, if it doesn't spawn, if it's for a quest, if it's not for a quest, I'm not really sure. But either way, this boss was significantly easier than the other bosses that we had fought, and so I'm not really sure. There might be a world quest to come in here and kill this guy, I don't know, like every couple of weeks. She has a cone ability. She puts some arcane things on the ground. You just avoid them, but if you don't, who cares? Because they don't do any damage. So anyway, yo, by the way, look at that fucking damage. Anyway, so she's dead, no big deal, nobody got anything, it's kind of a waste of time. So, next boss, or not really next boss, but next area in here, was really, really cool. So this is like a council fight, and so we figured that we would just pretty much fight all these guys, just AoE them down, take care of this little situation, no problem. But see, the thing is, they have like almost half a billion health. So I wasn't really sure how this was going to work. And so here we are putting marks on them because this is going to be the focus target. First, we're going to kill this one with like, half a billion health. Then we're going to kill the other one with half a billion health. And then they fucking killed us in like 3 seconds. Right. So obviously we're doing something wrong. And this is actually like pretty cool. Honestly, I thought it was pretty cool that we that this actually happened. So anyway, you have to pull these advisors, I believe, or like these like demons away from the main person, and then kill them separately. And one of the ways you can do that is you talk to this wounded civilian here, and then he's going to run up to them and aggro them, and then a couple of them are going to come back. And so you pull them away, and while you pull them away, um, basically, it's very simple. Really, all you have to do is you pull them away, and then you kill them one by one without the buff. Because if you guys didn't see, they did have 3 red buffs, and so whenever they get far enough away, they lose those red buffs, and then they're very, very easily killable. It's no big deal. Also, in this area, there's a lot of other little things that you can click on depending on your profession. And so there's like a thing with like blacksmithing that you can summon some sort of a trap that summons a mini boss, and you kill the mini boss with the trap. A lot of really, really cool, unique things in this dungeon, and I really hope that they incentivize them enough to where people feel like they want to do them, because I do think that they're very, very cool and fun. And so as you see now, she lost one of the buffs because one of the demons is not with her anymore. And then there's a statue over there that I think we destroyed, a destruction of the life-size Nightborn statue. Destroyed that one, and then that brought over the Observer, which I don't think is using a new model, but I don't really even know one way or another. So again, these guys are very, very easy to kill. They're basically like trash mobs, to be honest. They die very quickly, and so I don't really, there's no point really even to tell you guys the mechanics because they don't matter. Anyway, so this is the last guy, and we had to go over to the other side of the map, and I think it was like we just had to kill some mobs or talk to some people. I don't really remember exactly what triggered this guy to run over to us, but we got that to happen, and then after that happened, we were able to kill the boss, again, very, very easily. So anyway, she does just some fire debuffs. It seems like she's kind of like an Iridar Warlock or something like that, and like kind of fire on the ground. You can think kind of like and that's a debuff that you just dispel, very, very easy to deal with. Fire on the ground, very similar to a Tyrant Valhari. And so obviously move out of the red swirlies on the ground, and really any swirly on the ground. And then we just pretty much DPS'd her down, and it was no big deal. Now, after we killed her, we had to talk to this other person, one of these Nightborn people, and they gave you a costume. And this costume allowed you to go into, I guess, like the main area in the Court of Stars, which is, I guess, like where all the nobles and everything are. But we spent, like, we're gonna cut right here because this is not obviously not supposed to happen. And we spent like 10 minutes trying to figure out how to get back up from there, just to learn that we were like 3 feet away from the door that we needed to go to, and we couldn't figure that out for like 20 minutes, right? Right. Okay. So anyway, so we go around in here, and you just talk to some of the people in here, and basically there's some sort of a spy in here, and so we had to talk to some of these guys. And once we talked to them, pretty much we led this guy away, and the suspicious noble, and we just lead them away, and then we fight them, and they obviously are going to turn into a demon. So again, I thought this dungeon, one thing I really liked about it is it didn't really seem like it was built for speedrunning. And, this has been kind of a criticism of mine ever since, like, probably Burning Crusade, is that a lot of these dungeons, it seems, they make them to where, I'm trying to think of like a way to put this, to where you can complete them as fast as possible, and there's not really a lot of emphasis on kind of making the dungeon more immersive and having a lot more to it, and seeing these like new profession things that you can do to like give yourself more buffs in a dungeon and stuff like that. I think that's really cool. So, this dungeon, I don't know if it's my favorite dungeon. I don't know if it's my favorite dungeon in Legion, but it's definitely one of the ones that I've really, really enjoyed. And honestly, it's definitely it's probably the most extravagant dungeon that I've done before, or I've really probably ever done, to be completely honest, especially with how much effort has been put into this. So I think that it's been really, really fun. I've really, really enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to doing it on Mythic and stuff like that. But some of the mechanics do seem a little deadly, so maybe not. Either way, this is the last boss here. Visor, who knows? And So pretty much he doesn't really do anything that's too deadly. He does like this AoE ability like with the wind, and it doesn't really do too much at all. And he also puts like these little circles on people, and you can spread out. He charges at a random player, and other than that, these bosses seem very undertuned. But this is only just on normal mode, and so what's going to be in here on heroic and on mythic and on mythic plus or challenge mode can be something entirely different. So guys, I want y'all to check out right now. This is the biggest thing in this video. Look at that perp. Holy shit, 880 itemable. I mean, look at those numbers. Look at, oh, real quick. I think I go back on it again. Like, that was crazy. I was so happy I got that. Like, that was the one thing I didn't have. Look at that mastery or versatility, right? Not too good, but I'm not even mad because 880 item level. Man, I'm so happy about that. That's my best item that I have now. And so it took me all the way up to 834 item level. And again, the dungeon was scaled down to 785. Just so you guys know, with item level, or sorry, level 110. So anyway, guys, I wanted to end the video in a nice, very scenic area right here with all of the people that helped me do the dungeon and my guild Swag Donalds, because we're serving motherfuckers daily. And you guys can join that guild if you want on the Legion Alpha. You just have to send me a tell or send anybody a tell in the guild, and they'll be able to get you in. So anyway, I really do hope you guys enjoyed watching this dungeon as much as I enjoyed doing it, and I'll probably be trying to stream a little bit more often. So if you guys want to follow me on there, twitch.tv/Asmongold. But until then, thank you very much for watching, and like, comment, and subscribe.